Hello, welcome to my session on the reproductive system. My name is Stephanie Wilson. As you can see here, Stephanie Wilson, date August 17, 2020. This is me. This is who I am. I wanted to, let me first share my screen so you guys can see what my beautiful screen is all about. Okay, so yeah, hi you guys. So in this lecture, we are going to be discussing the regulation of the sperm and how sperm's maturation is regulated in the germinal epithelium. So these are the learning goals that we will focus on for this session. So we're going to be looking at defining how matured sperm is functionally and structurally occurring. We're going to describe the role of the testes in producing sperm. Then we're going to discuss the hormones involved in spermatogenesis. And then we're just going to outline the interaction between hormones and the germinal epithelium. So let's talk about the testes. So the testes are essentially where the seminiferous tubules lie. And the seminiferous tubules is essentially where sperm production and maturation occurs. Sorry, I don't know if I said that right. And you will also find these intestinal cells of the Ludwig, which are crucial for the production of testosterone that helps to fuel the maturation of sperm. Now let's talk about the seminiferous tubules. So as I mentioned in the last slide, the seminiferous tubules is the site of where sperm is being produced. So if you did a cross section as depicted in this left image, you will find many different types of sperm in different points of development. So this is a beautiful image of that occurring. So you will find that it lies there. You will also find an image straight from your book of the cross section of the seminiferous tubules as well, where you also have sperm's tail laying in the lumen, and then you also have different support cells like nerve cells that are also found in the seminiferous tubules. And this is occurring in the sperm. And it's a beautiful image, and it's essentially showing you where a lot of the sperm is occurring and where development is happening. It's happening in a seminiferous tubule. So you will find that, like here, different sperm, and you also find support sperm as well, or support cells that help the sperm develop and become mature. So here is another good image from your book relating how the sperm is developing. So you have, the primary spermatocytes, the secondary spermatocytes, the spermatid, and the spermatozoa, and the capillaries there, going from the germ cell to mature sperm. And you have all of these sperm at different moments of development, and you also have these serotoli cells, which secrete hormones to support the sperm's to support sperm production. Actually, serotoli cells do not secrete hormones. Please let me rephrase that. It does not secrete hormones. It actually secretes androgen receptors and cell products to help the sperm to take up testosterone, which is a hormone that's produced by the intestinal cells. And we'll look more into that in the next slide. But the important thing to know in this image is that sperm kind of start as germ cells, as spermatomium, and then they kind of develop into spermatozoa, which is matured sperm. And there are different cells, as you would say, nerve cells, that aid in this development as they're going through this process. As in this process would be called meiosis. is where you have moments of development and dividing, and this is where it's occurring. Let's go more into the structure of the sperm. So the sperm is structurally made for its function, as many bodily parts in our bodies. And the matured sperm's function is to impregnate an ovum and to fertilize an ovum, a female ovum. And it has a tail to swim, to go through all of that uterus mucus, to move around. And it has a head that's filled with all of its DNA, the nucleus, which is essential to fertilize the sperm. And it is structurally made to withstand swimming through the uterus in order to, as depicted here, to penetrate an egg to lead to fertilization. Now let's go more into the hormonal control of spermatogenesis. So spermatogenesis is controlled through hormones. So these, particularly the top hormone is gonadotropins, which is produced by the hypothalamus. And the production of the gonadotropins leads to the production of testosterone, which is crucial for the sperm production to occur, for the development of sperm to occur, and later maturation. Now here is a beautiful image of this cascade of a hormonal control of spermatogenesis, which is directly from your book. And it shows very clearly of where gonadotropins, which is secreted by the hypothalamus, and then later interacts with anterior pituitary. And then that is, anterior pituitary is then releasing FSH and LH, which are also found in the female reproductive system. And these hormones then go on to interact with cells, the FSH, particularly the Sertoli cells, which then releases inhibin, which then acts as a negative positive feedback for FSH. And then also leads to developing of sperm, and then androgen binding protein, which is a receptor for testosterone, which the sperm need in order to develop. And then LH, which is in the intestinal cells, which the intestinal cells, as I mentioned previously, produces testosterone. And testosterone then allows for two body of secondary effects, which later is important for the development of sperm. So important to know this pattern because it's very crucial in order for sperm production to occur and for them to mature. We need these hormones, specifically GnH, FSH, LH, testosterone, and inhibin, which is, again, a way of working as negative feedback control, as well as testosterone, which is also negative feedback control, to help with the sperm. So it's important to note these things. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're going to play a little Kahoot game for this project. I thought about doing a worksheet, but I thought, why not do something more interactive and engaging by doing a good old Kahoot game with you all to talk about sperm production. So I'm going to share my screen here for a second. I hope you guys can see my screen. Okay. All right. So we're going to play some Kahoot, and we're going to see. I'm actually going to join in myself to see if I actually know what I'm talking about. So I just join in. I'm gonna call myself the reproductive expert. Or the reproductive. And this is me. So you can log into your phone and we're gonna get it going. Let's go. Sperm, that's the name of the quiz. So what cells help to support the sperm's development? Serotonin and intestinal cells. Serotonin and intestinal cells. Which is the right pathway for testosterone release? Oh, this is a little difficult. I'm gonna say yes. Hypothalamus. So first you get the hypothalamus, which is then producing GnRH, which then goes to interior pituitary. And then it goes from there. But that's the right pathway. These other ones don't make any sense because hypothalamus doesn't go directly to the intestinal cells. Like it doesn't interact. What actually interacts first is that GnRH. And then it's the pituitary. And then you have finally the cells. Yes. Okay, so next question. What is the primary target of LH? What is the primary target of LH? It's hard. Serotoli cells. Serotoli cells. Oh, it's actually intestinal cells. See, I got that wrong. Wow. Wow, I got that wrong. Actually, let me check to make sure that that was correct. That was the, yeah, it's the intestinal cells. Let's just go back to that now. Okay. Wow, I got that wrong. Okay, let's go on to question 4. What allows spermatocytes from reacting to testosterone? Androgen receptors. Androgen receptors. Yep. Whoop, whoop. I'm on the podium. Where does spermogenesis take place? Where does it take place? Seminiferous tubules. Tubule. Yep. Now let's see. How did I do with learning about the regulation of sperm production? Who's number one? Who's number one? Who's number one? Woo! I won! Yes, I won. Yes, so that is all I have for the sperm regulation and maturation. Thank you for playing, and I hope this lecture provided you guys some information about the regulation of the sperm and its maturation.